Okay, thank you so much. I was listening to Mary, she talks about naps, and that brings me to yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is divine sleep. It's a practice. It's a short practice for my way, sometimes half an hour or up to an hour. That gives you. You don't fall asleep, but you are in a very deep, relaxing state, and it gives you that boost that Mary is talking about. It's so cool to hear these things from different sources. Okay, so thank you, Mary, for reminding me about yoga nidra. Okay, Wednesday, what do? We learn from others, wisdom from others, and then we always remember, I'm using experts, what I consider experts to learn from. That doesn't mean that they are always right. Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're always right. But I don't have to agree with them. I don't have to agree with them, neither do you. But I can still learn from something. I can read it, I can reflect over it, and I can learn. I don't have to agree. That's important. So we start by learning from others. And then we do the physical practice that helps the mind to kind of come back into the body, into the present moment. And then we do a seated meditation. And experts, I mean, I'm picking a Dalai Lama. I don't have to agree with him, but he has studied his area. So he has put in a lot of effort to learn the things he's sharing. Okay, one thing you should remember is that mental transformations take time and are not easy. I think some people from the West, where technology is so good, think that everything is automatic. You should not expect this spiritual transformation to take place within a short period. That is impossible. Keep it in your mind and make a constant effort. Then, after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you will eventually find some change. I still sometimes find it very difficult to practice these things. However, I really do believe that these practices are extremely useful. Okay, so with that in mind, let's do our physical practice. So the last thing that Dalai Lama said was, I do think that these practices are extremely useful. So the practices that we choose are important. Whatever I repeat day after day, year after year, is going to make an impact on me. So it's important to create rituals that work. And this ritual that we are doing together on Wednesday morning, at least for me, it seems to work. I look forward to this every Wednesday. It helps me to ground and reflect and, become a wiser person. And maybe it does the same to you. If it doesn't work for you, stop. If it's not beneficial to you, find something else. Okay, so finding your seat, give yourself credit for finding a ritual that works for you and stay with it. And if it doesn't work for you, give yourself credit for stopping a ritual that doesn't work for you and find something else. And then maybe bring awareness to your feet, lifting your toes, lifting your heels. Slowly bringing the mind from all these stories we're creating from the past, from the future, all this drama that we are creating in our mind, bring the mind back into the physical body, to the present time. And then maybe bringing your awareness to your two sitting bones. Remember, there are at least two parts of you. There's a left part and a right part. Maybe think about it as rituals that work or rituals that do not work. Or practices. Dalai Lama talks of practices. Practices I really do believe that these practices are extremely useful. So finding practices that are extremely useful. And then if you want to, you can place your hand on your lower belly, remind yourself of the pit, or my teacher calls it the pit of the belly, that location in your body is described in different art forms in different ways. They have different names, but to me it seems like the area is the same. My yoga teacher calls it the pit of the belly. And on every exhale, notice how the pit of the belly goes in and up, in and up. On the exhale, the pit of the belly goes in and up, and it helps to lengthen the spine. Lengthen the spine. So there's a part of your spine that goes up, and there's another, the sitting bones go down. So we are stable, grounded into earth, and at the same time, on the exhale, we can lengthen up towards the sky and hopefully hear or get better guidance. And the guidance could be to find those, what Dalai Lama called those extremely useful practices that eventually will lead into spiritual transformation, if that's what you're looking for. And then the shoulders are wide and relaxed. The neck is long, slight tuck to the chin is open, helpful. Still breathing. If you want to, you can place your fingers on top of your head, crown of the head. It kind of helps to get that physical connection. And maybe notice how you can release the sitting bones down, and at the same time, the crown of the head is reaching up. So it's a very relaxed, expanded place of being. It's not relaxed in the way that you're just like slumping down. You're sitting up really, really tall, and yeah, it's like effortless effort. Effortless effort. Okay. Placing the hands on your knees, and then starting the cat-cow movement. Notice how your breath is moving with your body. Maybe let's notice, if you don't try to change anything, how do you breathe? What happens when you round your back? Do you inhale? Do you exhale? What happens? Just maybe let your body and breath lead, and you simply observe what works. And then coming back to neutral, checking in with your feet, your sitting bones, pit of the belly, shoulders, neck, tuck the chin, crown of the head is rising up. Breathe. And then looking at your hands. Look at your hands. Look at your fingers. So many years they've been with you, helping you, creating things, blinking, bubbling stars. All the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over, straighten the elbows, breathe. Maybe inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And then reach and reach and reach and reach. Open up that side of your body, stretching the skin, expanding the lungs. And then reach and then turn to one side. Let the arms go wide. Fingertips move away from each other. Look behind you. As you're looking behind you, bring your awareness to the base of your big toes. So the base of your big toes are grounding into the earth as you're looking behind you. Breathe. And release. Lift the shoulders a few times. And then look at your fingers. Thinking bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over, straighten the elbows, breathe. Maybe breathe in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then reach and reach and reach. And as you're reaching, notice how you're using your feet. So when I'm reaching up with my left hand, I'm pushing with my right foot into the ground. So one part of me is really grounding into earth, and the other one is reaching up towards the sky. So maybe notice how you are using your body. Okay, and then turn to the left, let the arms go wide, look behind you. As you're looking behind you, bring your awareness to the base of your big toes, base of your big toes. Notice how you're pushing into the ground with the base of your big toes as you're looking behind you. Breathe. And then release. Lift the shoulders and release. Okay. Look at your hands. Maybe think about practices that work, ritual or practices that work. Practices that you do that works. Could be brushing your teeth. So brushing your teeth is probably a practice that works. So maybe imagine the practice brushing your teeth. What color does your toothbrush have? I don't know. And then draw that practice. Draw the tooth brushing practice. What does tooth brushing look like to you? And then release that image. And then maybe find a practice that you would like to establish. You have a practice, but it's like not really working, but you want to, you kind of heading in that direction. Maybe for me, it might be watering my plants. So maybe I want to water the plants every third day. I don't know. So watering the plants. So what would that, so it's a practice you've started, but it's like not really working. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do? So find that practice that's not really working, but kind of. So find that practice and then draw that practice. And what does that practice look like? Or what do you want it to look like? Maybe it looks like this, and you want it to look more like this. Okay, now bring your feet wide, a wide and stable stance. The toes are pointing forward and they're wide. So open up the toes and then find the two sitting bones. So we have already practices that are working very well. And then we have like practices in progress. So we have perfected practices and practices in progress. Maybe those are the two groups that we want to focus on. So notice and celebrate the practices that work, and then find the practices in progress and see how can I move them along? How can I make them a little bit better, more useful, more useful? He talks about useful. And for that to happen, we have to be a little creative. So what is that practice going to look like? Maybe you have to add a little bit of fun to it. Okay, and then finding your way back to that wide and stable stance. Breathe. Now, place your hand on your belly. Pit of the belly goes in and up. Find this core strength. And now imagine that you're jumping your feet together. Jumping your feet together, landing in Tadasana. Okay, now look at your toes. Spread your toes. Look at that foot. Imagine how many steps that foot has walked for you. Thank you. Thank you. And then imagine another practice that works. Another practice, maybe another practice is taking a shower. Taking a shower works. That's probably a practice that works well for you. So, so what does taking a shower, what does that practice look like to you? It might be easy, it might be hard. You know, I remember when I had surgeries, I couldn't shower my knees or my shoulders. Then taking a shower was a big deal. It was hard. And then stepping out wide and knees, elbows to knees, fingertips together. Breathe. And then if you want to, you can release your hands down, drop the head, let the head be heavy. And then inhale, come back up. And then placing that foot on your knee. Use your fingers to open up the toes. The elbow is gently guiding that knee out a little wider. Seated pigeon. Breathe. On every exhale, maybe you're adding a little weight. And then bringing your awareness to that. So there are muscles in the hip that are saying like, no, 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 I don't want to move. So find a place of a little discomfort. Stay there. Breathe into it and gently talk to the muscles in the hip saying, we can release a little here. We can try something new. We can try a new practice. Let's try the practice of releasing the hip muscles. having a gentle conversation with your own hip muscles. Okay, and then slide the knees together. Whatever leg is on top that goes under, give yourself a hug. I forgot something in the beginning. That's okay. That's too funny. Okay, give yourself a hug. Remind yourself how much you love yourself, and having self-compassion when things go wrong or when things go right. Be compassionate with yourself when things go wrong and when things go right. Okay, now finding your version of eagle, your version of eagle. So if you want to, you can place your hands on your forehead and then gently bring the hands forward and up, forward and up. Maybe look up towards the sky too. Breathe. And then release the fingers up, 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 up. Fly away and land on the next mountain. Okay, look at your toes. Look at your toes. Maybe imagine a practice that's not working perfectly. It's something you started. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's cooking healthy lunches. So maybe you want to improve or make your cooking lunch practice more useful. So what would that look like? Or eating healthy at lunch, what would that look like? Okay, and then draw that picture. Maybe it is inviting a friend over for lunch, because at least me, I find it easy or more fun to cook for someone else. So maybe invite a friend over for lunch, and that would help you to make a more healthy lunch. And then stepping wide, think elbows to knees, fingertips together, lengthen the spine, breathe, toes are wide. And then bringing the left hand onto the floor or a block. So if I have very long arms, so it's easy for me to reach the floor. You can use a block or a book or something. Okay, the other hand on the right knee. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, push into both hands and look up towards the sky. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale and twist a little deeper. And then release. The head is heavy. Inhale, come back up. Elbows to knees, fingertips together, lengthen. And then place the right hand on the block, left hand on the left knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, push into both hands, look up towards the sky. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist a little deeper. And then release down, let the head go. Inhale, come back up. And then place the left foot on that right knee. Use your fingers to open up the toes, open up the toes. Gently guiding that knee out wide. And then if you want to, imagine that you're having a little conversation with your hip muscles. So when I'm pushing my left knee out, eventually I feel resistance. Yeah, the muscles are saying, no, 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 stop there. Okay, so I'm going to stop. No more surgeries. And then breathe. And then have a gentle conversation with the hip muscles. What would happen if we release just a little bit, just a little bit? What would happen? And sometimes when we do that, we remember things, or we get insights, something happens. Kind of cool. Then often there's an emotional reaction. You can start crying, or you might be happy, or there's going to be an emotional reaction. Or you might feel relief. And then slide the knees together. Whatever leg is on top, that goes under. Give yourself a hug. And remind yourself that you are a student. Sometimes you're a teacher, and sometimes most of the time we're a student. But we are both. So as a teacher, we are role models. And as a students, we are open to learning. So feel compassion for the part of you who is a teacher, and feel compassion for the part of you who is a student. And then finding your version of eagle, seated eagle. Maybe start with the hands touching your forehead. And then letting those hands move forward and up, allowing the gaze to follow those fingers or feathers up towards the sky. How high do you want to go? How high do you want to go? And then release that bird, release the bird, allow it to fly, and then land on the next mountain. Okay, building strength in the legs. We need those legs here on earth. So picking a number, I'm going to pick 12, just to pick something different. So I'm going to come up to standing, picking 12. Okay, here we go. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then release And then one more, come up to standing, pick another number. So I'm going to pick 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And this time, transferring the weight forward and up, and then remain standing. Okay, blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over. Straighten the elbows. Breathe. Maybe adding some side bending. And then reach and reach and reach and reach. And then release the arms down. Using the knees. And then letting the arms go. Let the arms go. Let the arms go. Move around. And then bringing the arms to cactus. Maybe some swimming. And backwards. And then knee to elbow. Knee to elbow. And then crossing the midline. And then finding the power of, no, the position of power. Position of power. Feel your power. A wide and stable stance. Hands on your hips, standing tall. Position of power. Feel your inner power. And that's the power that's going to help you to create practices that are useful. Practices that are useful. And then lifting the leg up to the side, engaging the outer hips. External support. Sometimes when we create new practices, it's helpful to have external support in form of a friend or someone else who also wants to create a new practice, like we are gathering together. It would be very hard for me to be here by myself. Why would I show up every Wednesday at 9 if no one else was here? That would be hard. And then lean and lift, lean and lift, lean and lift. Breathe, balancing posture, stressful for the body. We want to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system by breathing. It's a simple switch. And then lean and lift, lean and lift. All right. Okay. Now, we're going to push something away. We're going to push something away. We're going to push away resistance and then allow better practices to take that place. So let's push away resistance, the resistance to change. Push away the resistance to change. Push it away, push it away, push it away. And it's going to be so hard because they want to come back and just want to do what it always did. If I brushed my teeth with my right hand, I don't want to start brushing with my left. No, I'm going to push that change away, push it away, push it, push. But I'm going to push that resistance to change away. And maybe we need to kick it away a little bit. And then eventually, there's going to be a moment of space where I can allow a better practice to start to form, start to like grow. And that will eventually fill the space. Okay, so let's celebrate that with 3 sun salutations. I like to start with my feet hip distance apart. You have a choice. You can do the same, or another option would be big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. You choose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. That was 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. 1 more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. And then stay there, holding your own heart in between your hands with love and compassion. And release. Okay. Big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Let's step back to warrior 1. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the left, right heel comes off. Take a big step back. Find the earth behind you with the toes and then the heel. Both hips are facing forward. So I'm going to make sure that I have that foundation before I come up. And then I'm going to keep my hips facing forward. And then adding some blinking, bubbling stars. Placing my hands in my back pockets. Breathe. Maybe bring your awareness to your heart space. What does your heart space feel like today? And then transferring the weight forward, pick up that back leg. Look at your toes. Opposite arm goes off. And then maybe add some movement. And then if you want, you can take the bind. Maybe look up. The chin is still tucked though. I'm looking up with my eyes more than my head. And then release the feet together, bend the knees, and come back up to standing. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the right, left heel comes off. Take a big step back. Find the toes. Find the earth with the toes and then the heel. Weight here. Making sure that both hips are facing forward. I want my foundation to be wide and stable. Spreading the toes before I go further. Blinking, bubbling stars. Place the hands in your back pockets. Breathe. And then transferring the weight forward, pick up that back foot, opposite hand goes off, and then maybe add some movement. Take the bind, maybe look up with your eyes, the chin is still tucked, slightly tucked. And then release the feet together, bend the knees, and come back up to standing. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the left, right heel comes off. Take a big step back, open up the pelvic halves for warrior two. Warrior two. And when you feel that you have that wide and stable stance, then placing the arms, one in the past, the other in the future. And you are right here in the present moment. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. What worked in the past? What worked in the past? And then bringing elbow to knee, extended side angle. What do you want your future to look like? What do you want your future to look like? And then coming back to the present, what can you do today to move in that direction? What practice could you install to move in that direction? And then placing the hands on the chair, pick up that back foot, look at the toes. Maybe let the same arm go off. Maybe take the bind. Ooh. And then release and come back up to standing. Let's try the other side. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the right, left heel comes off. Take a big step back, open up your pelvic halves. With that wide and stable stance, you can add the arms. No rush. Feel yourself here in the present moment. This is where you are right now. Flip the front hand reverse. What can you learn from the past? What can you learn from the past? And then bring that experience and wisdom with you to prepare for a better future. Come back to the present moment. What can you do today to make that happen? What can you do today? And then place the hands on the chair, pick up that back foot, look at your toes. Maybe same hand goes off. Maybe you're taking the bind. And then release and come back to standing. Finding mountain, Tadasana posture, mountain. Feel your strength, stability, consistency in mountain. And then from mountain, move to tree posture. So imagine your feet or your legs as a trunk of a tree, and the feet are widening, going deep and wide like roots. Connecting to other roots all over the globe. Transfer your weight to the left, the right heel comes off. Notice how that left foot and all the roots in that left foot is holding you up as you are growing your tree. Your tree. Maybe it's a traditional tree, maybe it's something completely different. Maybe letting those branches grow tall and wide. And then finally finding your way back to mountain posture. Once again, feel that inner strength, stability. You've been here forever. You're going to be here forever, just like a mountain, or for a long time at least. Transfer the weight to the right, left heel comes off. Notice how that left foot, all the roots in that right foot is spreading out, connecting to other roots, keeping you balanced as you grow your tree. Maybe into a traditional tree posture, or maybe something completely different, unique to you. And then eventually finding your way back to a mountain. Okay. Feet are wider than your hips. The toes are spread. Release the knees down a little closer. So you're creating that triangle with 4 corners. A triangle with 4 corners. Look at your thumb. Pick a color. Draw a big circle and let that thumb connect with the heel. And release. Look at the other thumb. Pick a color. Big circle. Connect with the heel. And release. And now, bring your hands out wide. Palms comes up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale forward. And this time, bring the hands behind you and hold on to opposite elbows. And just stay here. Stay here. Toes are opening up. The hips are moving towards the chair. Breathing into those shoulders and arms wherever you feel bruised. Bring that healing prana, healing breath to any place in your body that feels a little bruised. And then release the arms, untuck the toes, bring the knees wide, big toes to touch, and then finding child's posture for a few moments. And then inhale, come back up. And then clasp your hands. Create that triangle with 4 corners. Your elbows and like the outside of your hands. I don't know what that's called. Tuck the toes. Engage the core. Lean into support. Lift the knees off. Walk forward and find dolphin posture. And then bend the knees and come all the way up to standing. All right. Now, let's get ready for a 5-6 minutes of seated meditation. I'm going to read this Dalai Lama reading one more time. Okay. One thing you should remember is that mental transformations take time and are not easy. I think some people from the West, where technology is so good, think that everything is automatic. You should not expect this spiritual transformation to take place within a short period. That is impossible. Keep it in your mind and make a constant effort. Then, after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you will eventually find some change. I still sometimes find it very difficult to practice these things. However, I really do believe that these practices are extremely useful. Okay, so like 5 minutes, find your seat, sit up tall, bring your awareness to your breathing, and then I'm going to be quiet and we're going to do like a 5 minute seated meditation. Here we go. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, gently move your head from side to side. Take a full breath in. Release. Maybe place your hands in Anjali Mudra, holding your own heart in between your hands with love, self-love, and self-compassion. Gently bow your head in gratitude for this practice, thousands of years old. Thank you, inner guide, your past, present, and future teachers, and all the people that are joining you on this journey. Open your eyes, raise your gaze, and thank you so much for once again practicing together. Namaste.